Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video. So I just got back from watching A Quiet Place 2 in theaters, and guys, this movie is absolutely incredible. I guess I have my top 25 most anticipated movies of 2021 private on Letterboxd, but I'll give you a quick little clip right here of what it looks like. This movie is extremely high on my anticipation list. And guys, it really delivered. Also, this video will contain spoilers. But anyway, let's go. Okay, so let's start off with the good in this movie, and starting off, we obviously just have to get this part out of the way as it is a Quiet Place film. The sound design is absolutely insanely good. It is just so well done. Everything just works so well with the sound design. It makes scenes so much more intense, and that's very nice for this movie. This movie is extremely intense throughout it. For example, whether it's at the beginning when everything is actually beginning to happen, they do a little prequel thing, which actually goes on quite long. But I just absolutely loved that. And then, of course, the rest of the movie, when they're around the downstairs and they're all hiding and stuff like that, when they're outside getting attacked, it just all works extremely well. And that sound design is really such a massive part of the reasoning behind that. Also, the cast to this movie is extremely good. That was the first thing I came out of it thinking, is just how good the cast was in this movie. Starting off, Emily Blunt, she actually didn't get a crazy amount to do as expected, but she stole every single scene that she was in. And by as expected, I mean we expected that she was going to get a lot of scenes, but she did get a lot of scenes, just not as many as I expected. But she stole every single scene she was in. She was so cool when she was running around at the beginning shooting things. I was like, this lady is absolutely incredible. And even though I think Jungle Cruise is probably going to be pretty terrible, I am still going to watch it just because Emily Blunt is going to be in it, and she is just outstanding, and I need to watch more of her work. In terms of Millicent Simmons, this is really her movie, to be honest. She just absolutely takes this movie and runs with it, along with another cast member I'll get to in just a second. But she just does such a good job portraying emotion without any... She does get a little bit of dialogue, I guess, but that's just through sign language and her saying a couple words out loud, but she is just so good in this movie, and the way she's able to portray emotions, I don't think she does it as well as the other three actors in this, being Emily Blunt, Killian Murphy, and Noah Jupe. I think they all do a bit of a better job in portraying emotions, but I think she still does an absolutely outstanding job. And then on to him, Killian Murphy is absolutely incredible in this as well. Going into this movie, I sort of expected he was just going to be a John Krasinski Lee replacement, and he was, but he really brought something new to the table, where John Krasinski was like the perfect dad. He doesn't take on that father figure for everyone else. It's really just for Millicent Simmons' character, and he sort of just goes with her, and he sort of is like... He's sort of a father figure, but sort of not, because of just how much of a flawed character he is. And I thought that the way they did that worked so well. And I need to see more of the stuff he's in, because this dude manages to be outstanding in every single role, like every single time. And then our final main cast member, Noah Jupe. Again, not a crazy amount to do. The Emily Blunt Noah Jupe storyline was big, but it was not as big as the Millicent Simmons and Killian Murphy plotline. But Noah Jupe, this kid is such a great actor, and I'm hoping he gets to be in more things, because, for example, the scene when he falls right at the beginning to one of Killian Murphy's traps, he just does such a good job in that acting sequence. And then when he's trying to help the baby when Emily Blunt is gone, he just does such a great job. And moving on, I think that the editing syncs multiple scenes in perfectly. And what I mean by that is especially around the end when they take two different sequences that are happening around the same time and they just sort of edit them, combining them together, and that creates just epic scenes in general. At the end, the literally my favorite sequence of this entire movie was at the end when we get to see the two kids standing up against the monster and both just killing it. I thought that was just, it worked so well. It was great. It was fan service done right, because these kids have been, especially Noah Jupe's character, has really been on the back burner the entire time and hasn't done a crazy amount. And then right at the end, you see him step up and do his thing. It just worked absolutely well. And it was just an overall really, really thrilling movie that just really kept me into it. I was so into this movie, and the entire theater was that I was with. There were actually quite a lot of people in the theater, and they were all just super into it. There weren't very many disruptions at all, just a couple random noises, but that was about it. Moving on to the bad, there really wasn't that much. I guess I would have wished we would have gotten some more family scenes, as the family aspect was the big thing with the first one. But even then, I thought they did quite a good job still. I think that they did really, really solid with the family scenes that they did do, and the two different plot lines managed to both be interesting, which is kind of a surprise because usually that doesn't happen. And then also, this movie's a little short. I think this was the same thing with the first one, as the ending feels just a tad bit rushed. I wish we would have continued on a little bit, but it also just does a great job of ending on a high note that's going to make you talk about the movie, and I think that is just absolutely outstanding. So yeah, overall, this movie is probably the best movie of this year, and I really do think there are only a couple movies that could beat it out for me. I know some people aren't loving this movie as much as I am, but I just found this movie to be just what I wanted completely. The only movies I think could potentially beat it is maybe Dune, or Last Night in Soho, or Tragedy of Macbeth, or something like that. But at the moment, this movie is my favorite movie of the year. I absolutely loved it. And yeah. So thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe and like this video while you're at it. I am going to go and finish this review and edit everything. You just comment your thoughts down below in the comment section. I'd love to hear them. And see you guys.